are going to open up on some zone stretch run, and you can see Liam just has bad placement here of his hands, gets on the outside edge, sets up the spin, and his guy comes back and really makes the tackle and gets in on shutting down that run. Comes back here, stabs the inside hand. Now he eyes down the line of scrimmage and misses Judon. I don't know how he does it. Let's take a look again. It means good awareness of him looking down the line of scrimmage, but I just don't understand how he just sets himself wrong and totally whiffs and then gets bowled over by Shell. It was just terrible, terrible. How does he miss that? It doesn't make any sense. Something's really weird on that one. So, come back, pass protection again. You see there's a lot of stuff going on here. They got swaps, switches on the offensive side and stunts and twists on the defensive side. Let's break it down. Didn't go well. Now, Liam oversets right here, and now he's pinched too far in. He gets beat to the outside, and because he's got to come back so hard, it opens up the inside between him and Shell, which that's a big gap. If he hadn't overset, that wouldn't be there. And then he overshoots again and allows the twist behind him to get in on create the pressure. So there was a multiple series of failures. He overset too hard. The bite inside leaves him exposed to the outside inside between him and Shell, and then he just totally doesn't recognize this because he over pursues on his first man. Bad stuff. Bad stuff. Now he comes down the line again. Look at this, just runs right past. Now, there's two guys to pick up here. If you'd hit either one, it could have been okay. So he comes down, he sees Judon, he decides to go in there, whiffs on him, and then he misses 23, but the fullback gets Judon. There's a crease. If he had just picked up 23, this could have been a successful run, but Eichenberg totally whiffs. Then again inside here, he oversets to the inside again, and he has no leverage or strength to maintain. It doesn't affect the play, but you could see him getting beat here again. So then another pull, and he just totally whiffs again. We'll break it down in slow motion to see what happened. Comes down the line of scrimmage, good speed, good movement, eyes who he's supposed to get, and then he just can't deliver. He just gets beat on agility, which is weird because that's supposed to be his talent, and just whiffs really, really hard. And just a dead play right there. So, coming back again, and we'll see a pass on this one, and another problem, him over pursuing. And he doesn't help Connor out at all. But look, the end is taking an outside rush. Why is he chasing? He just chases so far, he opens up a wide gap. That leaves Connor exposed. And that's part of the reason when you look at his grades and stuff, you got to add some mitigation. And he gets his head around and sees something on the backside, but it's way too late. You just can't do it. You got to be more patient. Aceperhead's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Now another run block here. He comes in, just gets a decent job there, but watch his battle with 3, who's like 190 pounds. I mean, he's fighting with this guy, and then watch him just throw him. This is so crazy. The guy is being outweighed by 100. He just tosses him aside. Now I'll show you the rematch and just some weird stuff we're going to see. It just does unexplainable stuff. So this was not the next play. It was later on, but he comes back again against 3. Peppers, and he has a hard time locating him. He gets beat there, but then he can't even drive the guy off. He stabs him. Pepper stabs him and then gets off again. Now, he's not in on the play, but watch this. Eichenberg, with 2 hands, throws him, pushes him, trying to get revenge, and he can barely do it. Look at this. Peppers takes 2 steps where Peppers tossed him for 3 or 4 yards. I mean, he had the edge and balance, but that is just really weird. And then again, you see, he gets in here on 91. Decent technique, but he gets the one-on stab and then the swim, and he just throws Eichenberg down on the ground like a dirty rag. Again, pass block, and he doesn't help Connor out. He got to get a hand in there to help him just for a second. But then he bites hard, and the stunt comes around him, and Connor's got to chase so much because he didn't get help early. See, look at here. If he just stabs him right there and holds him, then Connor doesn't lose control, and he can maybe peel off. But this was a disaster, and you got to know the Patriots run this stuff all the time. I mean, a lot of the problems, Shell's getting beat too and all this, but you can see the over pursuit is a main feature in his game. Again, pass block. Look at his overset and his weird stance. He doesn't have balance, and he just gets the rip and the dip, and he has no control over him. He's got the hold here. This could easily been a call to hold. Hands in the face of the quarterback, where it really doesn't need to be, but it was just terrible set, inability to pop him off, and then just dominated. Again, see here the run game. He's got the leverage to start off with, but he loses it, and then he just gets totally demolished. And now he hip tosses him, and if the refs wanted, that's a flag, 10 yards. So you get a big play out of this, and the refs feel like it. Even though it doesn't affect the play, he affects the play with this because you never know when a ref's going to do that. So he's got the leverage, and now you see he shoots, and he's doing good so far. The inside guy has got to be picked up by the running back. Okay, but then he gets his hands inside, and he just gets popped, and he gets lost, and he gets dominated. And that's not totally his fault, but it's not a good look. Then again here, he oversets, gets the one hand high on his chest. Look at the legs, how they're spaced out. No balance, just gets his arms pushed off, and then he has no strength or power to hold up under the point attack and just gets dominated. And watch the hit Skylar takes. This was a hard hit. That was a brutal hit. You'll see, he doesn't show it here, but he gets blasted. So again, he's tentative. He doesn't know how to set. He can't mirror. He's having a hard time shadow. There's a two-hand pop, and then all of a sudden, the guy who's agility just gets totally juked out of his socks. So if he doesn't have strength and he doesn't have quote-unquote agility, then what does he have? So look, he oversets hard here, and he sprawls his legs out, two hands tight. When you put your two hands close like that inside of the chest, that is a sweep and a swim, and he just gets liquefied here. Totally liquefied. So, this is a disaster. And again, Skylar he doesn't get ripped down here. He's actually the one where he escapes and gets on the run. There's no one coming with that. So again, look at this. He's following. He loses track of things. He's chasing the guy. He just can't keep up with them. And watch him just get tossed here, thrown away like a ragdoll. Just no agility, poor technique, inability to shadow, which you'd expect from an agility player, and no strength. This is just bad. Look at this. I don't understand how you can, put him in maybe, but then when you see this, replace him with Jones. So again, set up and pass protect. Look at him grab the outside of the shoulder pads, bad form, getting driven back. And this is not top-end talent on the interior. This is just gets dumped and tossed to the side. And if that play lasts a little bit longer, that's a sack. And it might even be a hold if the refs want to call it. All right, so that's the film of Liam Eichenberg. And I wasn't even going to waste my time doing it because it was so obvious. But I got this comment from Matt Johnson. You hate to show film, huh? You talk too much about nothing. Now, I got a little frustrated because either he doesn't watch my show here or I don't know, he's kind of nuts, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe he just doesn't know my show or whatever. I've done loads of film. In fact, a lot of big channels that are doing film this year, I was doing it before them. Last year, all the way into the year before that, and another channel on Finn's News. I love film. I'm a film first guy. But I can't sit here and show you 50 hours of film because it takes too much time and no one's going to watch it. So I have to find a way to distill the stuff down. And really, the stats that I showed you, that you'll see here, are clear indications or pictures through statistical analysis of the film you just saw. You don't give up 7 pressures, and it's a fantastic day. Now, Matt Johnson's probably a great guy, and maybe I should have been, communicate a little bit better, and maybe I should have put the film in there. but I always do film. I mean, I've done a crazy amount of film, but I've done Eichenberg like a multitude of times at a certain point. But I guess, I got to just keep on doing it. So I did it here because I believe in communication. I'm trying to reach guys like Mac who say it's nothing. How do you put a guy in who's performed like you've seen here? This was like one of his worst, but like he's kind of in that same ballpark every time he plays just about. I mean, they can protect him and stuff. When Tehran's there, he might look better. But if you don't really understand what's going on, you don't see how much they protect people, especially when Tehran's there. So the film that you saw is around his ballpark, but the worst. But to me, it was just so obvious that this kid was so terrible that it was very confusing, because you'll never find tape like this of Robert Jones. Never. And you'll see him be a major asset in the run game, where Eichenberg is not an asset in any area of the game. None. I mean, he moves quicker than Jones, but when he gets there, he can't locate. You saw that. Hand placement, location, recognition, awareness, core strength, pure strength. Over and over and over again, he's defeated it at every level. And okay, so you want to bring him in because you think of the future, but then you're sacrificing this year, which doesn't seem fair to the team, because the whole team's watching this film. They want to go to the playoffs. They don't want to develop some guy for the future. And, if it is for the future, okay, bring him in next year. Win now. Or bring him in, and when he starts playing like you saw, bring Jones in. It was a 2-point game against a team that you're competing for the playoffs. So, I'm sorry, Mac Jones or Johnson. This nothing. The fact that they put this player in and had this performance, if you think it's nothing, then that's your evaluation. And I've nothing I could do. I've shown statistics, I've shown my side of a point of view, and I've shown a ton of film. So, there you go. The nothing burger of Eichenberg or not. Whoever decided to put Eichenberg in really dropped an egg. Whatever their intentions were, clearly he had a horrific game. So, he played a major part in the failure, and I guess that's it. So, I guess I add more film on basic stuff going forward, and maybe it isn't so basic for some people. Maybe some people are just not catching my show or what I do prior stuff, and I got to remember that too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I mean, it's not an enjoy, but at least you get to see some real clarity. Statistics are a second-tier thing for me, but it's a way of compiling vast amount of data, film into data, so I can present it really quickly. So anyway, there you go. I'll get you with more stuff with this game coming up. Big game. Critical. So many reasons. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I mean, I got my problems with different players and different personnel, but it's all about winning. I hope the Finns win this week. I hope we go and shock the world. And I hope the people that I really don't like too much get accolades, and I could be wrong. We'll see. Kurt's saying, catch you next time. Be well. Go Finns. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with AceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.